Hello, my friends. So, today we're going to be looking at the energies of the Chariot. This is a card that I've never felt I truly had a full understanding of. So, I am really welcoming of any comments where you wish to discuss or explore any additional meanings that I don't touch on. But I'm going to tell you what the Chariot means to me. Since for each reader, as you know, each card is going to have a slightly different connotation. So here's my version of the Chariot, and I'm trying to get the whole thing in frame here. This is from my all-time favorite tarot deck. I was really excited to be using this today because this is from the Dark Mansion Tarot from a studio out of Poland, I believe, called Taroteka Studio, and it is just so cute and adorable, and I love the illustrations. If you guys have ever seen this kind of short-lived animated series that was on called Over the Garden Wall, which is just really super cool. It's kind of spooky, kind of occulty, kind of vintage. It's just really neat, unlike anything I've ever seen before. This is exactly the animation style, the art style of Over the Garden Wall, in my opinion. And that was such a cool show and dealt with the afterlife and all sorts of sort of occult type of subjects. And it was just right up my alley. And I love this deck. It's a little bit expensive. It's an indie deck, but to me is worth every single penny. So, and this is Dina, by the way, from the Love Divine Tarot. I know it would help if I actually said who I am and who's making this video, right? So, okay, let's get to it. Let's get to the Chariot. So we see this guy. At face value, this card is exactly what it looks like. Now, in the picture, his chariot looks like it's a little bit out of control, and that's misleading because the Chariot upright meaning is not out of control at all. It's a directed force of will. It's about gaining victory. It's like you've overcome the challenges or you're overcoming them. You are focused, you're directed, and you're getting what you want. And that's what the Chariot's all about. You are completely in control. In the traditional Rider-Waite artwork on this card, the charioteer is not holding any reins. The horses aren't being controlled by reins. In fact, I believe they're sphinxes in the Rider-Waite. They're not being held by reins because he is controlling them with his mind. His will is so strong. He doesn't even need these reins. This guy is so badass that he's controlling the horses literally with his mind. I'm going to try to prop this up a little bit here so we can just leave it and you can see it. Like my little crystal book stand here for the tarot cards. So yeah, I decided to use fluorite because just a really strong stone of clarity. I thought it went well with the Chariot energy. So yeah, this guy is completely in control. Like he's just going where he needs to go. Now for me, as we've discussed before, for every reader, each card has sort of its own kind of special connotation. For me, the Chariot's connotation is events happening very quickly. When this shows up in my readings for a friend or a client, it usually indicates that whatever I'm being asked about, whatever the current is asking me about, is going to probably manifest very quickly. Especially if this is a case where this is something that they've been wanting for a long time, they've been working for. When the Chariot shows up, that tells me, yeah, you're gonna get this and this is gonna work out for you. So it's a very positive card in readings for me. Now, what are the little intricacies here of the Chariot? Well, first of all, the horses here, you'll notice, are black and white, as are the sphinxes in the original version of this card, the Rider-Waite version. Why do we have horses of two different colors? Because the charioteer, which is you, is going to have to master the opposing elements in his mind or her mind before he can get to where he wants to go. So that's your challenge. You have to have mastery over your mind and your thoughts, and you have to persevere to get to this. The Chariot indicates that you're going to get it, but it's not necessarily going to come effortlessly. You're going to have to go through some trials. It's going to take focus, it's going to take confidence, and it's going to take your determination. This is not an easy path. This is going to be a path of winding roads, but if you persevere, you're still going to get it. So, okay, what does the Chariot mean in love? Well, pretty much the same thing, that this is not going to be an easy path to the 10 of cups necessarily, but it's going to be a successful path as long as you persevere with it. As long as you do the work, stay steady and stay in control, then you're going to get there. For career, the career and money meaning is probably the most easy and fortuitous for the Chariot. It basically means, as far as your money goes, it means that a windfall is probably coming, an unexpected money or an unexpected success in your business or your career. The Chariot is really, really great for business and career. For love, it's more of a self-love card. It's more that you have to work on loving yourself, directing your will, taking care of yourself, and then the relationship love can come in, and it's probably going to be a bit of a winding road to that, but it will be successful. With the Chariot, all roads really do lead to success, but some of them are not very short roads. Some of them are quite long. Now, what happens? Some people don't even like to read reversals, and I'm one of those people. I don't love reading reversals for people, but sometimes I'm drawn to read them. Sometimes my guides tell me, like, okay, the reversal is really the true meaning of this card, and I want you to read it for this person. The Chariot reversed, it still has that really fast energy, that energy of things moving in the direction that you want them to, and very, very quickly. But here's the difference. When it's reversed, you have dropped those reins. When you've reversed, it's really out of control when this card is reversed. That you're moving, but not with that focused determination that it connotes when it's in the upright position. It's really meaning that you're a bit out of control with what's going on. It might be a little bit faster. It might be a little bit, you might have to be making too many compromises. It might be something that's really not what you want. Now, if the court is asking about love and it's reversed, this usually indicates that they're trying to force a situation that's not really working out. And that's a hard thing for a lot of people to hear. If it's reversed, it usually means that they are really trying to drive this love situation. I'm going to try to move it here because I feel like the candle is making the illustration a little hard to see. But yeah, if it's reversed, it kind of indicates that they're trying to really drive forward this love situation, really, really make it happen. And it might not be the right time, and it might not be the right person. The person's really not as into it as they are, but they are really pushing. Like, they're just really driving that Chariot forward. And the person's not as into it. It can indicate obsession if it's reversed. If the reading's all about love and the person gets the Chariot reversed, it can definitely indicate obsession. That they are intent on pushing that Chariot, intent on getting where they want to go, and maybe their partner isn't really feeling it, isn't really willing, isn't really giving them any encouragement, but they're going to keep going anyway. Now, if somebody's asking you about career and it's reversed, that can mean that two different things for Chariot reversed to do with career. Either they don't have any ambition at all, they don't have any drive, if you will. They're not driving the Chariot, they just don't care, there's no ambition. Or it could mean, like with the love meaning reversed, that they are just going like too hard. They're too aggressive. They're just pushing, 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 and not getting into flow, not letting things flow. That's the thing with Chariot. When it is upright, the Chariot's all about flow. The Chariot's about, like, the universe is on your side. You're pushing things forward. You're moving things forward, and everything's going well. And it's just a really lucky card. It just means, like, everything's on your side. Everything's moving the way you want it to move. But when it's reversed, things are still moving, but they're being forced, and they're just kind of moving because you're pushing them to move, but it's not necessarily for the good of all. So, okay, guys, that is about all I have to say about the Chariot. The Chariot's definitely a bold card. It's definitely a card of action. There are a lot of cards in the deck, like, the Hanged Man, for example, or Eight of Swords, I would say, which are cards of just being stuck and nothing happening and no movement. This is the opposite of that energy. This is a card that indicates a lot of movement, like a situation really moving forward, especially if it's been stagnant for a while. Then this is the end of stagnation. This is that situation kind of lurching forward, sometimes even faster than you want it to. And it's going to be successful as long as you maintain your focus, as long as you keep your confidence and you have that determination and you don't let any bends in the road slow you down or discourage you. Then you're going to get where you need to go with this chariot. You really are. And ever hear that phrase, fortune favors the bold? That's what the chariot reminds me of. Fortune favors the bold. So keep your boldness and you will achieve what you're trying to achieve, for sure. Take those risks because luck's on your side if you got the chariot. At least if you've gotten it upright. All right, friends. I hope everybody's doing okay in our quarantine, isolation, whatever you want to call it. I know we're all staying home here in Florida, even though not everywhere is under mandatory lockdown yet, but a lot of places are. Tampa just declared that yesterday that they were going to be under mandatory lockdown. And we've got a few businesses that are staying open, but nobody's really going there necessarily because we're all trying to do our part and keep a distance from each other and just not spread this thing. I think that's the best way we can all love each other right now is just by staying away from each other and trying our best to keep each other healthy. And honestly, I'm really impressed with what I've seen so far, the way people are acting and the way people are treating each other. I've seen a lot of people be really nice, really evolved. So thanks for that, guys, and thanks for watching, and I'll be back tomorrow with another card.